to another Resultant video about Power BI. Today, we'll be discussing some concepts around Power BI sharing and access. In order to do this a little bit more effectively, we will use the metaphor of a restaurant. All right, so starting out, we have the organization. Your organization is essentially your Azure Active Directory of all of your users within your domain. Imagine this is like the entire restaurant. Within your domain and all of your organization, you've got the concept of workspaces. Workspaces can be created so that individuals can access all of the content within a workspace. You can share entire directory groups or individuals to a workspace. You also have different tiers of workspace. This can be enabled through premium capacity. This is how you can share a workspace to those that may not have a premium license in Power BI, is by enabling a premium capacity. There are a number of features that come with a premium capacity that will not be elaborated in this video, but one of which is access by users that don't have a premium license. You may want to consider a premium capacity for your workspace if that is the case for you. Within a workspace, you have multiple kinds of Power BI objects. For this video, we'll be focusing on reports and report access, but you also have data sets, data models, and dashboards within, and data flows, a workspace that can be accessed by users with access to the workspace. The report is one of the most functional and commonly used tools in Power BI. It's what users ultimately ingest. It's a way of using and applying filters to your data, and so that's why we're going to focus on reports. If you're thinking about a restaurant, the workspace is like a room within the restaurant, and each report is like a table at a buffet. So diving into one level of security that you have access to, that is the row level security, which allows you to filter within a report. This will show only certain user groups based on a role access to the data. It is literally a row filter, and that is why it's called row level security, and you can assign this to different groups. One use case example might be geographic regions, that you only want to access certain rows related to that geography. It can also relate to maybe levels of hierarchy in your organization that should be seeing more or less data that might be, more private or less private depending on their level of hierarchy. If you want to think about a restaurant allegory for this, the best thing I could imagine is different restrictions on diet. So once you actually approach a buffet table, you may have a gluten-free necessity for your diet, you may be vegetarian, and so you're actually seeing only pieces and selecting only pieces of that data from that buffet table. There's a concept of an application that lives within a workspace. This is a way of publishing reports in a really beautiful, easy to use way that your users can engage with. An application can be downloaded from the Power Apps page for a user, and this enables one more level of security within Power BI that is called audiences. I think about an application as, the tablecloth that goes underneath your tables. Maybe it's the lighting. It's really just a nice fancy wrapper for your restaurant and presentation of your tables. What an application does enable you to do is create certain audience groups. So an audience is a very powerful tool that was enabled in Power BI in September 2022 for multiple audience groups within an application. And this is literally a way of limiting what tables a guest in a restaurant may go to. So in this case, if you have an application that publishes multiple reports, what you're able to do is isolate groups of users to seeing only parts of the report. Unlike row level security, which filters out the data, an audience group will actually filter out the entire visual of a report. Audience groups is very powerful in combination with row level security because now you might have a marketing department that's split out by geography with only certain access to the rows as well as the content of a report. I hope this was helpful in sharing a little bit of insight about how to access and share Power BI and that the metaphor helps solidify those concepts for you. Thank you very much.